90 Day Fiancé Season 11, did Shekina Garner move into a bigger house? Sarper compared the Los Angeles home to a prison. 90 Day Fiancé star Sarper Güven's life turned upside down when he came to the US and realized he was to live in a small house with some atrocious house rules with Shekina Garner. Sarper, from Turkey, was working as a personal trainer in his country when Shekina met him via a dating app during her vacation. Sarper and Shekina started dating with the Turkish man, deciding to get rid of his bad boy image. Sarper had been with 2,500 or more women in his past. This time, Sarper wanted a relationship and a girlfriend he could control. Meanwhile, Sarper's controlling behavior towards Shekina was called out. However, Shekina too had certain rules for Sarper which even affected his sources of income. Sarper did not take any women clients for personal training. Moreover, Sarper had to be the one who moved from Turkey to the US as Shekina had to keep flying back and forth for her daughter and her successful skincare business. Sarper thought Shekina's house was smaller than he expected. Coming to the US meant experiencing a huge culture shock for Sarper. He called his experience of heading to the US a nightmare trip from Turkey. Once he landed in America and wished to return to the comfort of Shekina's home, his reaction was to observe that it was a little smaller than he expected. He joked that Shekina's dog Adonis and he were prison inmates. He saw that the tiny space was completely overtaken by Shekina's skincare equipment, and soon enough, Shekina told Sarper about her house rules, which may have made Sarper want to go back to Istanbul. Sarper was left speechless, in the worst possible way, when Shekina opened the door to her home and attempted to justify the mess of equipment scattered around. She told him that the facial equipment was there because she worked from home. Sarper mentioned that the house looked bigger in the photos. However, there was a reclining spa chair sitting where one would expect a dining table to be, shelves of lotions lined the walls instead of kitchen decor, and skincare machines filled the space next to a brown leather couch. Sarper was kicked out by Shekina when she got clients. While there was a kitchen in her house, they couldn't cook there. She had clients coming over and didn't want the place to smell like food. Sarper realized that Shekina did not cook at home at all and expected Sarper to buy food from outside. Not cooking in a house? What the F******? I mean, are we living in a hotel room? Sarper commented. However, it was not the end of Sarper's problems. She needed him to go away when clients visited her since they were women and could feel uncomfortable that a man was in the room. Shekina wants fans to help her buy a house. Shekina was called out by fans who saw her servicing her clients in a cramped kitchen and expecting Sarper to leave the house with nowhere to go whenever she had people over. Fans slammed Shekina in her Q&A. Shekina received a question, why not buy a house instead of living in a shoebox? Shekina responded with a video of herself walking through a parking garage, sipping on a drink as she filmed herself. Because I'm poor, she wrote. Help me. The 90 Day Fiancé star revealed that she had lost a lot of clients from frequent trips to Turkey. 90 Day Fiancé's Shekina Garner details her new facelift, exclusive. The TLC star is spilling all the secrets on her fiancé Sarper Güven's move to the US, his relationship with her daughter and if he had input on her latest plastic surgery. 90 Day Fiancé couple Shekina Garner, 43, and Sarper Güven, 44, are finally engaged and, presumably, headed down the aisle on season 11 of the series. The engagement follows their ever-so-tumultuous courtship, which included the unfortunate time that Sarper ripped out Shekina's hair extension in an argument. Still, the pair appear to be in good spirits as they say goodbye to Sarper's family in Turkey, much to their dismay, and embark on the life-size Ken doll's American adventure in Los Angeles. It's been a big process for him, because it's just so different than Turkey. Being here in the US is something that he never dreamed of, Sarper's fiancé told Parade exclusively. So it's been hard for him, but I think he fits right in. Judging from the 90-day promo clips showcasing Sarper running along the California beaches with his six-pack abs gleaming in the sunlight, we'd venture to say he's acclimating quite well. But that doesn't mean that the dramatic duo's time has all been fine and dandy. Now that Sarper is in the US on a K-1 visa, he legally is not allowed to work for a period of time. I do feel like there is a lot of financial burden on me, which is something I didn't experience when I was in Turkey. He foot the bill for everything, Shekina said. And, in his mind and his culture, he does feel like that is the man's responsibility. Shekina and Sarper typically have a pretty traditional relationship structure, so this shift has been jarring. I feel like I kind of had to step into more of a masculine role with him being here in the US, because this is my world and he's entering it, she said. Sarper is now stepping into his bonus dad role, but Shekina is clear that he is not her daughter Sophie's father. My daughter has a great father, and I was never looking for a dad for her, she explained. And I don't really think that Sarper was ever looking to be her stepdad. He's an adult male figure that's there for her, that loves her mom, that's showing her what a healthy relationship looks like, the mom of one continued. This comment may give fans of the TLC series pause, as Sarper and Shekina's relationship has been fraught with blowout fights and unkind comments about Shekina's body. And we mustn't forget the time Sarper designed his bride-to-be's new nose job. In recent months, Shekina has gone under the knife once again, removing her facial fillers, besides her lips, and generally tightening everything up. What actually happened as a result of dissolving my facial fillers was I had a lot of loose skin and wrinkling and hollows, actually, the esthetician explained. My under eyes got super hollowed out, and I just felt like I needed this all filled in and tightened up. 10 days prior to the 90-day fiancé, before the 90 days reunion taped, Shekina had a fat transfer for her under eyes. Since it was so close to a big on-camera event, the surgeon opted to underfill versus overfill. Shekina wasn't thrilled with the results there, so she opted to head back into surgery once again. They repositioned my cheeks up to fill in these hollows. So it was a facelift, but it was mainly to treat the under eye area, the reality star detailed. And I'm so glad that I did it, because now I'm filler-free except for my lips, which I'll keep, but I'm so over the filler fad. Although she intends to keep her lips looking nice and juicy, Shekina plans to take a step back even in that regard. I haven't had filler put in my lips in over 2.5 years, and when I was getting filler, I was getting it like every 3 months, she said. So I would go in for like a little half a syringe every 3 months because it slowly dissolves. So my lips were a lot bigger when I first started filming the other way. Now she and Sarper are targeting a more natural vibe. Now I feel like they're probably half the size of what they were when I started filming because I just stopped getting filler completely and I like it. I think it looks better. Plastic surgery isn't the only area of input Sarper has had on Shekina's life over the years. He's also been known to make comments about her weight. I've always loved working out, and it's always been hard for me to gain weight. So when he was giving me little critiques about my weight, I was actually working with a bodybuilder trainer at the time who was having me bulk up and put on a lot of weight to build muscle, she explained. And so I was the biggest I'd ever been, she continued. I was the heaviest, but I felt like my clothes fit the same. I just have a lot more muscles. So I stopped lifting so heavy, and I kept eating a high-protein, low-carb, no-sugar diet. Shekina believes Sarper's heart was in the right place. I think he was just asserting himself as the dominant person in my life who knows a lot about fitness, she said of his comments. I feel like I'm a pretty confident person and I know that I look good, Shekina said. I, of course, cared what he thought, but him thinking that I needed to lose weight? No, it didn't hurt my feelings because I couldn't care less. 90-Day Fiancé Shekina Garner defends cheating partner? 90-Day Fiancé stars Shekina Garner and Sarper Güven are some of the most complicated couples in the franchise today. Many viewers think there's a lot of things the two should work on. But it seems they're prioritizing things that won't help their relationship. Shekina even revealed during the latest episode that her boyfriend will be the one who's going to design her nose. Not many people trust Sarper due to his background, especially when it comes to loyalty. However, it seems Shekina had enough and defended her partner despite his past. Keep reading to see her shocking statements. 90-Day Fiancé, Shekina Garner lets Sarper Güven decide on her new nose. During the latest episode of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 8, Shekina revealed her plans to have a nose job. She told her friends about it before adding that her boyfriend, Sarper, would be the one to decide how her nose would look. Shekina's friends were stunned by her revelation. One of them even said, I haven't met this guy who's a stripper who slept with 2,500 people. I'm supposed to sit here and act like it's no big deal? But it seems she had already made the final decision. Shekina defends cheating partner? Shekina also opened up about the hate Sarper Güven has been receiving due to his past of sleeping with over 2,500 women. According to the 90-Day Fiancé star, she knows that what her boyfriend did was terrible. But she's impressed that he's very open and honest about it. Shekina Garner later said that people shouldn't judge Sarper for his past, adding that it's starting to look like they're slut-shaming him. Shekina also said that people shouldn't criticize a person based on their body count, implying that she's on her boyfriend's side amid all the online hate. 90-Day Fiancé, Shekina Garner shares life in Turkey. During the same interview, Shekina revealed that she now lives in Turkey, and she's only in Los Angeles for a short period of time. According to the 90-Day Fiancé star, residents of Los Angeles shouldn't complain about the traffic they're experiencing, as things are much worse in Turkey. Shekina Garner added that people don't follow traffic rules in Istanbul before saying that anyone can park in the middle of the road and go shopping, leading to chaotic traffic jams.